Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik again, and this is the game War in the Pacific, Advanced Edition. This is my play-by-email match against KilRoy. He's the commander of the Allied forces, and for me it is Empire of Japan. This is scenario 1 with no modifications on the game version 27B, with the extended new map. We are arriving here at the 7th June 42, and last turn we had the next battle of Nanchang. I was still not able to defeat the Chinese army, but the casualties are mounting up for the Chinese, let's say this. And I was also able to defeat the Australian forces north of Townsville, so I'm closing in on my trapped units there and trying to release them. Some sub-attack against the patrol boat. And the daily action. Cleaning the skies or secure the skies over my target. Scouting. Preparing a better detection level so that the incoming strikes have a better hit chance. And here is again a hurricane. My bomber remembered this target from last turn, and I don't readjust him to the old hex, so he changed follow up the same army group, because last turn this unit was more or less in this hex, and unit move at the end of the turn to this, or change the hex, and my army bomber remembered the unit, because this is how the game mechanic is working. And if you don't reset up your army or your air force, then they follow up the same target. And I know that KilRoy have here the Hurricanes, and they have, I think, a range of 3. So he was in range of this Hurricane cap fighter, but luckily too far away to be successful intercepted. So today my bomber survived. And the Helens attacking still here, open terrain. Here I can create much more casualties. So I won't normally attack only in clear terrain. Many wrong reports. And still Catalina's out of Mamaya, detecting my ships. And yeah, KilRoy tried to slow down my incoming release force, but I think there's not much firepower left. I don't know where KilRoy his big army air force is. Maybe he still holds them back and trains them up. So, in my tank regiments and armored cars trying to defeat the Chinese units. China is out of supplies, or low in supplies at least. And Nanchang back to bombardments. The Chinese corps are Let's just say maybe lost 20 to 30 attack value at least overall. There's still attack value left, but not more much. But this is active attack value. They can still defend. So this British force is now completely destroyed. Mostly support units, but also still there was some fighting equipment. And the 55th division crossing here, making a shock attack. I'm not more sure where I come from, but this is the end of the British, more or less. Nearly the end of the British Rangoon army. So across the river, charge in, and half of the army is defeated and destroyed, and the rest is escaping and blocking all my highway. But I would say this was now really the end of India Command. Good, bombardment of Nomaya. With this victory in Rangoon, I could more or less say there's no threat left, no ground units. I must now only pick them up and kick them once more that they will surrender. And for me, this is even lucky that they're jumping on this highway. So I can reach them faster. Air losses, light on both sides, only operational losses again. I was a little lucky that this Hurricane was not able to find a attack position. No ship sunk, no sinking sounds. Ground points, again, maybe some more for me. I don't know, I don't count them, but you can see 1500 to 500 is in my favor. Yeah, I would say so, is in my favor. No other big change. My armored cars trying here the best, but these are really only Tanketten, so they have only machine guns, and these are light tanks and a little medium tanks, and I normally won't upgrade them, but of course if the enemies here cannot do this, so but I can change from 97 to tank model 1. So this is maybe, I don't know, upgrade from tank Panzer 2 to maybe a Panzer 3 type. Maximum. I think the Japanese, the Americans have for sure Shermans, and I think the Japanese have nothing can really fight strong like a Sherman. But the Japanese get better anti-tank guns, so you can defeat enemy tanks, but you don't have the your own medium tanks capable of something. Good, so the British army is defeated. There's now no guns left, no guns, no trucks. This is really purely infantry, only support. But then now in the jungle, so my air force will not be very helpful. But they're on the highway, so I can move in some troops quickly to end this topic. Yeah. Anything else here? Nothing. So Australia, I move, KilRoy block. I don't know. This release army is not so powerful, but it's maybe enough to break the siege of Townsville, and this is number one. The number one priority is for me, I must reach the hex before I'm running out of supplies, and then maybe KilRoy will attack me. And I don't want to lose more or less my army in the last moment before my release can arrive here. Because I think KilRoy sent in additional forces, not so many, but some. And I have here 600 and 400 is coming, so then I have 1000. Especially if I can open the hex, and I can at least retreat if I cannot hold much longer. And the supply situation is getting better. I bring in more equipment, build up the airfield as soon as possible. So I could normally use my own Air Force sooner or later. This is also my so last turn I switched here the first A6M5 airframe. So this is the first Japanese Zero fighter wing. Here you B squadron have this new airframe, and you can see that I just entered in June. So if you push it and plan it correctly, in June you can get the airframe what the Japanese normally get first in summer of 43. So I get this airframe 1 year earlier. This airframe is allow to the Japanese to maintain, I would say, at least in carrier battle, the upper hand for 42. But it will not be enough more in 43. You can roughly see this that the big difference is that you get, I think, roughly 10% more speed. You also get 20% more durability, so toughness, hit points, and it's called. The downside is a little lower maneuver values, but this is always hand in hand. If you're faster, then you cannot maneuver so fast. So that I would say, and speed is always more important than maneuver values. You lose a little range, but overall, this is an improvement. And the improvement is so much that you can say that the standard enemy fighter at that time would be the, yeah, this is the standard fighter what the allies have. The F4 is, I would say, exactly the same powerful like a Zero A6M2. So if they fight each other, then I would say, depending on the pilot, and both can win and both can lose. But with the M5, I would say the advantage is on Japanese side because you are faster and you have maneuver value. So it's much likely that you will have the behind the enemy and get an easy kill. For the Americans, they still have the advantage that they're carrying much more firepower, more durability plus armor, and more range. I mean, yeah, this is. But I would still say with the M5, that is possible for the Japanese to maintain the control over the skies. But in the moment the Hellcat arrive in early 43, April 43, it's over. There's no way more that the M5 can fight this airplane if the pilot's kills are similar. Too fast. Of course, maneuver values are not so good, but there's much more speed behind this airframe. And it is also even more tough. So if you have the right pilots, you can maybe still get a 1-to-1 kill ratio with the Hellcat, but don't ask for more. And yeah, I'm not so sure. 1-to-1, I think this is the best you can get out of this. So good. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye.